Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe Podcast. I am your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and it is Monday. We're finally in December. Thanksgiving has passed us, and we are back. Hopefully, you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend if you celebrated it and had a good time with your family. Maybe had some games going on. I don't know. Ask the DM at theevildm.com is my email address. Theevildm.com is my website where you can sign up for the newsletter and read all the things I'm doing currently. Right now, we're going to look at something that was emailed to me via Facebook page, facebook.com/Evil Dungeon Master. Chris Talk wanted me to look at some magical items from Dragon Magazine. He says, Vince, could you check out Dragon Magazine 91? It has a ton of really good magical items in it. If you would mind just looking it over and picking one that you like and then talking about it, I'd appreciate it. Well, he's right. There is one in this Dragon Magazine of 91. There are tons of really good magical items in here, but I wanted to just grab one that I thought would be really cool. And these magical items are made by Rodri Moore, Ed Greenwood, and the like. So there's just so much good to pick here. So I was looking around in here, and I decided to pick on the Cloak of Guarding by Ed Greenwood. So this garment is identical in weight, texture, and appearance to a normal woolen cloak. Not wooden, excuse me. And it's about gray in color, so it looks really natural. When it is worn and the user is struck by a physical blow, the cloak will instantly become rigid at the point of impact, deflecting all non-magical missiles and absorbing some of the force of a physical attack, -2 on each die damage. That's each die damage, down to a minimum of 1 point of damage per die. So, imagine that. After the attack has landed and withdrawn, the cloak will instantly become flexible again. The cloak cannot be torn or otherwise damaged by a physical attack except under circumstances described immediately below. If the Cloak of Guarding is subjected to constriction or sustained pressure, as in a deadfall trap or caught between two walls that are closing together, the garment will protect the wearer in the manner of a rigid suit of armor until it has suffered 25 points of damage, whereupon it will just instantly disintegrate. A cloak that is damaged in this fashion will not bestow its powers of protection upon the wearer again until it has rested, in quotes, for as many rounds as the number of points of damage absorbed, or until it is taken off and not worn for at least one round. So, if it has 25 hit points maximum, it looks like, in this manner. And if you sustain a certain amount, that's how many rounds. So if you sustain 20 hit points, that's 20 rounds before it can be usable again. Or if take it off and then it just instantly heals itself within a round. Though you probably won't know that as the person who has this magical item, because that might be something that might not be identifiable. It may not be given out. As the DM, you may just give them that it only could do this or that. And maybe you don't tell them that if you take it off. Let them figure it out on their own. That's kind of something you want to do. Let's see here. The construction of the Cloak of Guarding, which involves metal spun into fine threads, is such that the wearer will take maximum damage and no saving throw permitted from heat, cold, electrical attacks of the sort. The cloak itself will not burn, so it's 1,500 experience points, and its gold piece value is 10,000. So this item is kind of interesting because I don't really foresee the group running across this particular item just laying around. Most people that find this item, NPC-wise or whatever, probably will hold on to this until they are completely dead or this is dead with them and disintegrates. No person's going to be taking this off and leaving it laying around. So I was thinking of ways to incorporate this into a game. Now, what I would think is one of the easiest ways is that you're hired by somebody, maybe of a noble stature, who wants this cloak back. They say it's a special cloak. It doesn't look like much, but it is a family heirloom and it has been stolen from me. And this person here in this kingdom has it, and I want you to go in, sneak in, grab the cloak, and bring it back to me. That's one way I was thinking about doing that, and the players would wonder along the way, why is this cloak so important? And the guy was like, it's a family heirloom, and they know there's probably more to that because, especially if he's like, I will give you 10,000 gold. Well, probably a little much, but I will give you 500 gold if you return the cloak to me within a week. And that's quite a bit for just a quick, snatch and grab job and bring back. Of course, they'll want to know more where it is and how to get to it. And all he can tell them it is located in this following house or mansion or kingdom or wherever, or tower where it's located. And you have to figure out how to get in and sneak to get to this item. I kind of like that idea of you just being a sneaky thief and having to go in there and not actually just having to battle your way in and try to, kill. So, I mean, let's say you do break in and the person who has this cloak wears it because you need to get it from him, but he starts using it, and you now know why the person wanted this cloak so badly, because you could see it. It's not something you don't notice. I mean, the cloak's going to block damage and become firm, as it said, and then become flexible. You're going to want that as a group. Now you have to decide, do you take this cloak and give it back to him and do the right thing? Or does this cloak become something of the group's now possession and be like, whoa, we couldn't find it, after they take care of the person who has the cloak? I don't know. That's kind of another good thing there to put a moral dilemma on your group. Do they take this cloak back to the person knowing what it does, uh, or keep it for themselves? I don't know. Depends on the alignment of your group, and if there's probably a paladin involved. Though the paladin may not agree to this assignment because he's like, well, no, he may, because if the guy's claiming it's stolen, but generally a paladin would probably take the approach of go to the person and say, this cloak has been stolen, and I wish you return it peacefully. So there's always that. A paladin taking that method of trying to steal it. I mean, trying to recover it in the lawful fashion. Now you have a group of just average good people, chaotic and neutral good, and maybe some chaotic neutral. I could see them breaking into the place and just stealing it and probably slaughtering the guy in his sleep, more than likely. Because, you're recovering an item and you're doing what's best. I don't know. There's lots of ways you can handle this, and I don't think I'd ever see this just laying in a treasure hoard for them to find. Though I would think maybe if they were searching an old church or something, or an old temple grounds, maybe this would be laying in one of those I can't think of the word of it. It's under the bed, a box or something like that. Or maybe when they're searching down in an old crypt and they come through some coffins and they see a bunch of coffins, and they search them, and maybe this is on one of the dead bodies, and they notice that this cloak is perfectly, nothing's ruined. It's a really good gray cloak. They're going to look into that. And yeah, because the person could still die with this on them and be buried in it as their favorite cloak, but nothing will happen to it because it is a magical item. So they'll notice this when they go inside the crypt and open it up and see that this beautiful gray cloak is nothing worn or anything, and it'd be unusual. So they'll take it off and start investigating. So it's another way to get it into their hands. There are a ton of really good items in here that I've never actually looked at. I mean, they're not perfect, but some of them are really cool. And maybe I'll go over a little bit more of them later on. But I figured I'd just go over this one because it looked interesting enough, the Cloak of Guarding. It's on page 58 of Dragon Magazine 91 from 1984 by Ed Greenwood. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm going to head out. This week is going to be a little bit wacky as far as shows are concerned for my YouTube channel and podcasting wise. I have to go into the office all week because we're doing a system changeover for our phone systems. So I have to go in and kind of supervise that and make sure everybody else is working correctly. So YouTube and podcast might be a little bit difficult. Plus, I have a bunch of doctor's appointments and wife's birthday coming up at the end of the week. So there's going to be no streams this week as well, unfortunately, because I have doctor's appointments and a wife's birthday at the end of the week. So anyway, I'm going to head out, keep it original, keep it old school. Good night. God bless, and keep those AD&D fires lit. Good night.